can't eat.
I mean, you could. Nothing saying you can't.
It would just sit in his weird esophagus.
Like you can't drink brandy or ale or.
I know he hasn't tried. He drinks oil. He drinks a lot of oil.
That is, Hume feels slightly bad for Tempus. Of course he turned out so wrong. Why do we even build these things? It's abomination, really. Yeah. Eating's like one of the best things there are. Oh, he doesn't think so. I think so.
I'm sure he can eat. He probably needs to regurgitate it later or open up his chest or something.
How lovely. And I can't eat anymore now. I have to throw it up later, so.
Just open up the chest, flop the glob somewhere. There we go. Wait, you guys don't do that for bloat? Huh.
Well. Anything else we might need?
No, I think I'm good.
Good, then.
What's that?
And yes, Gryph, pertaining to your Skype chat IM that I sent you, it was repeated, just for extra emphasis.
Right, cool.
I know you had triggered it before, but just so that you remembered, it is that guy who was named to you last session, and now you know exactly where he lives and how he looks.
I remember messaging you last night going, what? Because it's like, I copied and pasted what you said, and I was reading it when you said that name. I went, fucking reading it again. Shit, it doesn't tell me which district. Fuck.
But yeah.
Don't ever go to the docks.
Yes, but now
how the hell did they get in the city?
But now you know that his shop is in the Guild District, and you thanks to Jurek, whom you encountered again, you know where it is located.
Jurek, he's a bro.
That's right. Okay. Anything else you folks wish to take care of?
I mean, we also know where the dungeon is on the island, right?
No,
I'm assuming it would be pretty obvious.
Especially if we... Sorry.
It's a heavily forested area, but it erupted near the center. It'd be like a 2-hour walk.
I'm sure we also asked for pointers from the paladin who'd been there.
So we don't stumble around the forest for 6 days.
Oh, hope you brought rations.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a compass. That's what the paladin would tell you.
I buy a compass.
You didn't have a compass?
Well, now I have 2.
Well, I've got trick dice. Maybe we can roll them and it'll tell us the way.
Ah, I see.
All right.
How about I can buy?
That's how compasses work, right?
Yes. It's like Jumanji.
Damn it, Stan fucking peed. That game gave me nightmares. The game? Movie.
You know, that game would give me nightmares. Assuming I survived it.
Good, let's go.
Okay. You reach the designated location. It's a small little sailboat, comfortable enough for a party your size. It is manned by 2 constructs. They are both made out of steel. And the ship takes off. It's morning whenever you leave. You arrive by early afternoon. It is not that long of a trip at all. You approach the old dock of the island of Creel. At one point, this did have a functional lighthouse as well as a small trading post area to guide ships, allow them to dock in if they didn't want to deal with the Newport docks. But nothing here but abandoned buildings, overgrown with vegetation due to a lack of activity. This small sailboat will pull into harbor, and the 2 constructs will lash it to the pier so that it does not leave. They will sit there.
Leona's glad that trip was so short.
What do the constructs look like?
The constructs do not wear any clothes. Dwohurim has some familiarity with the appearance of constructs, judging by by his time at Horizon. These don't even have any sort of humanoid features depicted on them. They are a humanoid shape, and they do have definition where like muscles would be in arms for arms and legs, but they don't have any mouths. They don't have eyes or noses or ears. It's basically just like a bland face, as if you were looking at a mannequin who, or like a doll of some kind, who didn't have any features depicted at all where a face would be.
Wow, just a blank face.
Just a complete blank, yes, with hands and feet. They are both larger than you, perhaps 6.5, 7 feet tall, easily over 2 meters. They have not spoken to you at all, but it seems that they have some idea, despite their lack of sensory capabilities, or so it would appear on the outside, to steer the ship. But just because they don't have those features depicted doesn't mean that they can't see or hear, and they can certainly respond to commands. In which case, all that you've been cleared to is basically order them to sail back to Newport.
Let's not do that yet.
No. Just sail back and forth.
They're not too terribly massive, though. Just while they are larger than you, significantly so, they're not as big as, say, the clay golem you fought in the Wizard Tower of Meadowdale. These aren't intended for combat purposes. They're manual labor.
All right.
In a smaller environment.
I guess we can have, like, Fargus lead us through the forest.
Yeah, Fargus has some forest familiarity. He will agree. Think that is a good idea, and you folks strike off. He follows the trails. He witnesses the signs. You think you see him communicate with a few squirrels, a tree at some point. And I will make a new map open for you folks, which may take a little bit of time for you to load. You won't have to worry about copying your tokens there. I will do such myself. And I'm going to keep Fargus' token off the map, but rest assured, he will be with you. The trek through the forested area is a bit slow. Thankfully, it has stopped snowing, and the snow, in this case, has even not fallen here so much on this island, or it has melted. The ground is still wet and muddy, and your boots do leave rather large and prominent tracks as you make your way towards the center of the island. That being said, the weather is good for travel. The sun is out this early afternoon. As noted, you did not spend much time aboard the vessel. Thanks to basically the speed of sea travel. Making your way through the forested area, following trails that had been blazed through by individuals who lived here long ago, you come across a series of hills. Forested, standing prominently and proudly in the central area of the island. Built into the face of one of those hills, facing you and jutting out from the hill on basically ground level, is a structure with what appears to be thick stone walls, which do have some moss covering them. The structure juts out, and facing you is a thick steel door, which its handle is on the right side, and it's one that you would essentially push inward. You would twist the knob and then push it inward. It does have a keyhole below that twist as well. And there is a lovely little sign, wooden in nature, and it's hanging next to the steel door but you are currently too far to read it. Fargus notes that he does not think there is any creature that is living within the area. He does not see any signs of them being the case. Perhaps animals steer clear from the site.
Right. I am going to take this chance while you're in a breather. I need to visit the boiler room.
That's kind of creepy.
Considering the dungeon is supposed to be polite, I guess we just walk up and read the sign.
Sure. The sign, Dark, you said you had finished loading up, or Sheep, since you loaded up as well. Why don't you go and read the sign?
Let's see. Welcome to the Living Dungeon of Creel. Please abide by all posted rules. Are there any rules posted?
Not out here. There's no other signs, at least next to this door.
That is a polite dungeon.
We should be polite too. Let's knock.
Okay. You rap on the steel door, and the door actually opens under your touch, and you hear a pleasant "Come in."
This is almost unnerving.
The door opens into a stone hallway. There is no light, so you will have to provide your own. Sunlight does stream in from outside. There are a number of signs posted over on this side. And then there are 3 steel doors, not as thick as the one that you've just opened, but they do have some thickness, with their own signs by them as well.
Well, thank you. Hello.
And
Hello.
you are welcome to read the signs out loud as you would like as you approach them.
Oh. I want to read this one.
Okay, go for it, Gryph.
We accept adventuring parties of all compositions. You're expected to bring your own equipment and supplies during your stay, but we will provide the entertainment. Don't worry about cleaning up after yourselves, we take care of that too. As you venture into our depths, you will encounter branching paths. To select the one most compatible with your group, simply open the door. Once you've selected a path, you cannot deviate from it until the dungeon resets at midnight. But don't worry, so long as you follow the rules, we'll never block your retreat. That's helpful.
It's an oddly polite dungeon.
You know, I never expected dungeons to be quite so polite and helpful.
Let's have a look. Each section has its own rules. These may be conveyed to you. We want you to enjoy yourselves here, but we understand we have poured considerable time into these attractions, and other adventurers will use these facilities after you're gone. Please do not violate the experience. Do not break the dungeon walls or doors. Do not teleport in or out of the dungeon. Once you have selected a path, do not force yourself onto another path. Please return to the entrance and wait for the dungeon to reset.
Wait, teleport out of the dungeon?
Yes, the sign says do
Tempus
not
also-
teleport into and out of the dungeon.
Might make using that amulet a bit more difficult then. If it says that'll break the rules. I wonder if it can stop us.
Yes. By each of these interior doors are 3 signs. As well, they are colored, and they contain the script that you can see upon clicking on the sign.
Ha.
Obstacle.
Obstacle path. To proceed, you must bypass a number of hindrances.
Puzzle path. To proceed, you must solve several dilemmas.
And of course, the combat path. To proceed, you must defeat all enemies. Well, this is not what I expected.
You know, I'm okay with this.
Tempus will just sort of look back at the door, just wondering if the dungeon talks.
Puzzles seem to be the most agreeable path.
I mean, we are all quite smart, I would say. So, sure.
Tempest looks at the obstacle path sadly, realizing that he's probably the only one that thinks this path would be the much more beneficial one.
I mean, if we get stuck somewhere, we can always just try tomorrow and pick another path, apparently.
I wonder if it has a for construction sign on the path that we took.
Oh, should we take this one then?
I mean, we might as well.
Seems like let's go for it.
Okay.
Push open the door?
As you grasp the handle, or the knob, and push it open, these other two doors that you did not select click, and they begin to hum. This door opens, revealing a shorter hallway, at which the other end has a throne of sorts, a large pedestal. And sitting upon this massive throne is, well, it would be what you would try to explain to your own mind as a combination. What if a snowman fell in a demon hellhole and then fused with a treant? It is a large creature, and even sitting, its head almost reaches the 10-foot-high ceiling. Massive bramble arms, thick cords of what appears to be tree matter extend from where arms would be, and they rest coiled in the creature's lap.
Are you sure you didn't select the combat one here?
I hope not.
The creature opens its mouth to reveal a red glow and says, "You have selected puzzles. I will not deliver the first until your entire group steps within this room. I will also not deliver the first without receiving an answer. That door will seal until I receive an answer to the puzzle. If you are unwilling to accept this, then retreat and wait for the dungeon to reset. Should you fail to answer any of the puzzles, I will punish you. Should you successfully answer both puzzles, the way will open." And there is a door behind the throne.
Well,
Well, let's follow what the nice snowman said. Are we allowed to converse with each other before you say the first puzzle?
You are willing to do whatever, if conversing is necessary, before you hear the first puzzle. Once you all agree to hear it, the door behind you will close and seal until you answer the puzzle.
Okay. I mean, when, after you have said the first puzzle, are we allowed to converse with our companions before answering you? When the door is sealed.
The door seals immediately after you agree to hear the first puzzle. You may take as long as you would like to answer it.
Good to know. Thank you.
So time to set up a tent and wait.
Outlasted.
I think the demonic snowman in this kind of warm environment is
No, I
good.
suppose we didn't come here to, well, retreat before the first challenge.
I mean, the dungeon signs also said that we could retreat at any time.
In this case, this room has a separate rule, as the price of failure notes. That door will seal until you provide an answer to the first puzzle, should you hear it. This is to prevent a group of adventurers from hearing a puzzle and then just running out of the door.
Okay.
And then talking about it with their friends. Forever. And then, going back to Newport and going, "Hey guys, what's the answer to this puzzle?"
Oh, it's 7. It's blue.
Damn it, why didn't Paladin pick the puzzle route? Well, I suppose we will hear the first puzzle.
So be it. And one of the massive bramble arms will lift. And this door behind you will seal, it will click, and a hum will emerge from it. I will reveal the first puzzle, which you can click on the orb next to the creature. And one of you can read it, or all of you can read it if you'd like.
I need to get some paper here. I love these kinds of puzzles.
Oh, brilliant! If that's the one we
Puzzle
actually-
1. 5 houses in different colors. In each house lives a different race. The 5 owners drink a certain beverage, prefer a certain food, and keep a certain pet. Who owns the fish? The human lives in the red house. The dwarf keeps dogs as pets. The high elf drinks tea. The greenhouse is on the immediate left of the white house. The greenhouse owner drinks coffee. The person who eats onions rears birds. The owner of the yellow house eats potatoes. The man living in the house right in the middle drinks milk. The halfling lives in the first house. The man who eats beef lives next door to the one who keeps cats. The man who keeps horses lives next door to the man who eats potatoes. The owner who eats beans drinks chocolate. The gnome eats lizards. The halfling lives next to the blue house. The man who eats beef has a neighbor who drinks water.
So, wow.
Well,
5 houses. Let's see, the dwarf has... It can't be the dwarf, because he has dogs.
Thomas will just take out a piece of metagaming paper and start writing.
wait, does your character not have
Buy
parchment?
paper and crayons.
Yeah, of course
Chalk.
he has.
Just
I
write
have-
the answer on the
I have-
floor.
In fact, Leon has chalk.
Let's see here. What does rears mean?
Brings
Person
up,
who eats
like,
onions?
rows. Like they get birds from an egg to
All right. Yeah, so he has birds. All right. So it can't be the person who eats onion. Can't be the dwarf. What else? What else do we have that refers to onions some way?
The man who eats beef lives next door to the one who keeps cats.
Huh.
So it's
We have birds and dogs. The one who has cats, and the man who eats beef has a neighbor who drinks water. We have anyone who drinks water? No, that must then be the
you've got-
person who's not drinking.
5 drinks,
water.
5 foods, 5 pets, 5 races, 5 colors, and we just need to tie all of them together.
Yep, I have an Excel sheet.
Yes, I actually want to get Excel. This actually seems really fun. I'm actually wanting to.
Oh, I should just use Excel, shouldn't I? Screw paper.
Metagame Excel.
All of us sort of we just sit
Sherm
down,
does it
bring
in
our
his
laptops.
mind.
Yes. Dwohurim is intelligent enough. You folks chose the puzzle path, so here you go.
You know, there were no rules against drawing on the board. I have chalk.
Thomas will pull out his personal computer that he purchased in Newport.
No, but you know what I have? I'll just draw the Excel table by hand.
There's fish, bird, lizard, cat, dog.
Yes, there is no problem with drawing on the walls. The dungeon resets anyway at midnight, so it's not a big deal.
Sorry, the pets are fish, bird, horse, cat, dog. Those are the pets.
This is my drawing wall.
Elf drinks tea. So if you all do it independently, then we can know if we get the same person.
We all get a different answer.
Greenhouse. First house. I'm of course going ahead and assuming that it's not a circle that they live in, but a row. The circle will make it very difficult too.
What are the 5 races? Halfling, high elf, human,
No, dwarf.
dwarf.
Gnome eats lizard. That doesn't have anything to do with anything, does it? The gnome eats lizards.
Yeah, that's the food that he
Prefer a certain food. The 5 owners prefer a certain beverage, prefer a certain food, prefer.
There's a food too, of course. Yeah.
Oh, there's also... Oh, that's...
Likes to eat lizards, huh?
You know, personal preference.
Thing lives next to the blue house.
And the okay, halfling lives next to the blue house. The blue house. Okay.
The halfling lives in the first house.
Mm-hmm. He lives next
What
to the
else
blue
do we know
house.
about the halfling? We don't know anything.
The halfling lives
Well,
next to the blue house.
Yes, but
And-
who lives in the blue house then?
And the middle house is something. Where is it?
That means it's the halfling first.
Well, the
Assuming-
halfling lives in the first house. He lives next to the blue house.
Well, this is going to be one exciting YouTube episode.
It's just always all quiet, like
They can
talking
think
there.
too. The man who lives in the middle drinks milk. And we know that the greenhouse can't be the last house.
Alrighty, let's.
And we know the blue house has to be the second house because the halfling lives next to it.
Yeah, because the halfling lives in the first house. Which means the middle house is not the white house. Because the greenhouse is on the immediate left of the white house.
Mm-hmm. My screen is covering like 4 notepad documents.
I'm just using Excel. What are all the beverages again? I know all the foods. I've got water, tea, coffee, milk. Oh, chocolate.
Chocolate.
And beef is the food, and the colour is...
You know, this is probably still going to be faster than combat.
Mhm.
The man living in the house right in the middle drinks milk.
Mhm.
So that's a fact, and we know that. So the middle house drinks milk.
Yes. We don't know who lives in the middle house though.
But it can eat. It's possibly green. Because the fourth house is either white or green. And the reason for that is the greenhouse is on the left of the white house.
But would that then mean that the red house has to be the last one?
What's the red house? What's the criteria of the red house?
We just know the human lives in the red house.
And could it be the first or the last one?
No, the halfling is the first one.
Uh-huh. So that
Yeah, but what colour is the halfling's house?
well, it's definitely not red.
No.
So the human lives in the red. So I'm going to color that as red. Gotta love Excel. That's brilliant to have colors.
Oh, I don't have the food in. Ah, crap. It's going to be one enormous table.
What are all 5 colors? I've got white, blue, red, green,
White,
Yellow.
blue, red, green, yellow.
yellow. What's the link we've got for yellow? Yellow eats potatoes.
Yeah, but we have nothing else referring to potatoes.
We have
Yes,
2
we do.
things.
We do?
The man who keeps horses lives next door to the man who eats potatoes.
Oh. Well, we already know that a dwarf keeps dogs. So that doesn't help with that. Do it the other way around.
And the gnome eats lizards.